you keep asking God to fix a nature He already replaced. You're on your knees begging Him to tame the old you. And He's looking at you saying, that person isn't even here anymore. Here's the payoff I'm walking you toward today. You don't have two natures at war for the throne. You were born again of the Spirit. And that birth gave you a nature that is not struggling to please God. It already does. In the last teaching, we saw that the old man isn't sleeping in a grave. You keep visiting. He's gone. And God was never asking you to improve him. Old things are passed away. All things are become new. Today we go further. If the old is gone, what exactly took its place? Because something did. You weren't emptied and left hollow. You were born again. Listen to how Jesus says it. John chapter 3, verse 6. Jesus says, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Now watch this. Jesus lays down a law of every birth. A thing carries the nature of what gave it life. What is born of flesh is flesh. What is born of spirit is spirit. That is, you take on the nature of your source. And a few verses earlier, he calls this being born again. The word there in the Greek is anōthen, which means from above. In other words, this isn't your first birth improved. It's a second birth from a heavenly source, producing a nature you did not have before. So let's read that again. That which is born of the Spirit is spirit, which means the deepest, truest part of you, the part God recreated, is not flesh trying to be spiritual. It is spirit, born of His Spirit. You see, you spend so much energy fighting to become something. But Jesus isn't describing a goal. He's describing a birth that already happened. You didn't graduate into it. You were born into it. Part 2, the heart He promised. Centuries before Jesus said it, God promised it. Ezekiel 36, verse 26, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. All right. Notice what God does and does not say. He does not say, I will lecture the stony heart until it softens. He says, I will take it away. It's removal, then replacement. A new heart, a new spirit. That is not maintenance. That is transplant. Now compare those two. Ezekiel says, God gives you a new heart and a new spirit. John says, you're born of the Spirit into a spirit nature. They're the same promise kept. So when you feel that pull toward God, that grief over sin, that hunger to be near Him, that is not the old you performing. That is the new heart He gave, doing exactly what its nature does. The stony heart couldn't want Him. Yours does. That's the evidence you were looking for. So here's the hook resolved. You've been begging God to fix a nature He already replaced. And the striving stops the moment you believe the transplant is done. You are not a stony heart pretending to be soft. You are born of the Spirit, carrying His nature, learning to live from a heart He gave you. Sit with that today. Stop managing the old. Start trusting the new. If this handed you back who you really are, follow along. The next teaching goes deeper into the new man in Christ. I'll meet you there.